Hey guys, MWUSA, Season 3, Episode 62. And yesterday we talked about first day or so on our trip, including travel to London, and woke up this morning. Honestly, last night I thought that I was going to sleep for just a few hours and get up because I didn't think I would make it all the way through the night, but I woke up around 6 a.m., tired, neck stiff, not feeling great, but we had a trip to take early, so we had to be at the train station by 7 or 7:30, somewhere in there. So we walked over to the train station and ended up having to walk to the bus station, which was a few blocks away, and that's where we were picked up and we went on our trip for the day. Um, we grabbed some waters and things like that, but we started our trip in London, and our first stop was Buckingham Palace, and it was nice, really. Um, some very impressive areas. I think you could tour 19 of their rooms, and it was just pretty amazing. Is the only thing I can say. Um, Everything was way over the top, very beautiful, very nice, very clean, very organized, very tasteful. Some of the displays that I saw were like, hundreds of knives or guns in like a circle on the wall, like a decoration with hundreds of them just next to each other. Um, all that was pretty cool. Toured there took about an hour and a half or so, and then my son and I went to the cafe and got some food for our trip as we were going to the next stop, so we could have something to eat. Our next stop was Stonehenge, and Stonehenge was kind of far away, another hour and a half or so away, but there was some kind of an accident on the road, so the last 10 miles took about an hour and 20 minutes. It was kind of ridiculous. When we got there, it cut into our time that we could spend there, so we could only spend about an hour and 15 minutes there. Um, so it used to be that you could drive right up to Stonehenge, walk right up to them, touch the rocks and everything. It's not like that anymore. Now they're kind of doing the nature thing around it, so you can't drive to it. You can drive a couple miles away from it, where they have a visitor center, and then a bus takes you, drops you off there, and then you can walk close to it, about 20 feet away from it, but you can't actually go on the grass in any area at all. So you're walking around it. There's a huge path all the way around it, but you can't go on the grass. So we did that. There was some sheep grazing nearby. It's really beautiful country in the area. Um, and then we got back on our bus and moved on to the next area, which was Bath, the city of Bath, which has the baths, like the Roman baths and things like that. And that was very nice. I definitely would recommend any kind of a tour that included those cities, those areas. The one we went on was Evans, I think it was called. So, um, and I think per person was only, trying to think, under $200 per person round trip, and that included all the tickets that we needed. I can't give you an exact number because we had children and adults, but our combination was about $175 a person for that trip, and it's a 1 day trip. You can also do the same thing on a 2 day trip, and then you have Cotswold added as well. But we just drove through it. We didn't stop. Um, but overall was really good. Um, what food here? Let me think about food. Um, at Windsor Castle, we got four different kinds of sandwiches, mainly cheese, tomato, pesto, basil stuff, things like that. They had some meat pies, which I had never had one before, but it's kind of like a pot roast in a little handheld thing. It was really good, very tasty. Would definitely recommend that. And we had I got a cinnamon roll for one of my boys. Wanted a cinnamon roll, so got that as well. And I would recommend that as well. Trying to think. We went to the last stop there. We got dessert and stuff. We bought some fudge. We bought some gelato stuff, and all that was really good. So can't really complain about any of that stuff. Tonight I'm going to see if I can get out and get some action tonight, as far as play. Try to make some money, and we'll see how that goes. Um, Something that's up in the air still, though, is tomorrow we're supposed to spend the day in London and then go to Paris in the evening on a train. Get there about 11:15 p.m. and then check into our house that we rented. The problem is we're having trouble getting a hold of the person we rented it from, even though it was through VRBO. I called Verbo and they couldn't get a hold of the person. So they told me that if I can't get a hold of them by morning, to call them and they would give us other accommodations. So, and amazingly, the weird thing is it shows that it's booked. And I remember paying like US dollars, like 4,000 US dollars, of which 1,500 was a deposit, but I don't see it on my cards. So I don't know if they're trying to pull a scam and try to run it through twice or get a different card number and run it through both cards or what. But someone called me yesterday saying that I hadn't paid for it, even though it shows as booked, even though I clicked to pay for it, and they wanted me to pay for it over the phone with a different card, and I thought that was a scam, so I hung up on them. And no communication through email. I've tried to message them, no communication, so we'll see what happens. So as of right now, we may not have a place to stay tomorrow night, and that would not be fun to get to Paris just before midnight and have nowhere to go. So we're going to try to deal with that first thing in the morning. So right now, settling back in at the house in London, and gonna rest here a little bit and then figure out what to do tonight. And I'll come back and update you. So letting you go for now, and I'll be back. All right, guys, I am back. I'm actually standing outside the house on the street here. One funny thing about this place, about London, is people park facing both ways on the street. So if you're parked on the right side of the street, you can be facing up the street or back down the street, either way. So lots of times cars are facing each other when they're parked, which is odd. In the US, obviously, everybody's facing the same direction. I did go to a couple casinos just to look around, just to see what it was like. And I didn't like what I saw at all. For one thing, I went to the first casino and walked in. They asked you for your ID. I told them, I'm just looking around. I might not play. They said, okay, no problem. They still took the ID, still entered something in the computer, and told me if I spent more than $1,600, I'd have to get a membership card. I said, okay. I went to play some blackjack and bought in for $200 on a $15 table, and they give you all $10 chips. So obviously they're getting you for more than 15 minimum. Played there for a little while, not really much going on, but I did manage to make some money. I made 400 pounds, which is about just over $500, like 510 or something like that. And then I decided I wanted to go look at other things. They had some machines there. I looked at some machines, messed around with them for a while. I actually took a few pictures in a very discreet way, but there's no way to beat these machines from what I can see, but I'll research it more, but I doubt it. So messed around in there for a little while, just kind of get the atmosphere, see what it's like in there. And what I noticed, it looked like a bunch of older European men, very serious. They seem to have money, just hanging around. Like there's a couple good-looking girls walking around, but they're like nothing. It's like they're so generic, so pretentious. I don't know. So didn't really enjoy it at all. Ended up leaving, it had 400 pounds. And then I went around the corner to another place. I went in there, same story. Wanted the ID. I walked in, I looked around, and I ended up really not playing anything and not spending any money at all, not even really trying. Looked around, but really didn't do anything. So I ended up just making that 400 pounds. So I just had the Uber drop me back off at the house, and we're going to get some sleep and see what happens in the morning. But yeah, it's going to take me a little while to analyze this, and if I ever came back, I might play, but very uneasy about going to a place to count cards, and the first thing they ask you for is ID, and you give it to them. So anyway, going to let you go for now, and I'll be back in the morning. Alright guys, I am back. Well, I skipped a day here. It is Sunday morning, and I am walking around the streets of Paris lost. Let me back up a little bit and tell you how I got into this situation. So, Saturday, we were supposed to be meeting with our friends, and they did show up. We picked them up at the train station. At that point, we had to leave the house that we were renting. So we did that. We took our bags to a place that takes care of luggage for you. You drop off the luggage, they keep it safe until it's time for you to leave. So we drop it off there. It is so expensive. It's like 6.5 pounds per item to hold it for you. So we drop it off. We have like 11 items, so we're paying about $90 to have our stuff held for half a day. So we do that. We meet our friends at the train station, and then we go get some food. We start walking around, and my wife has a place that she has in mind to get food. She has reservations there for noon, so we've got plenty of time. So, same situation kind of that I'm in right now. We start walking, and we're following the Google Maps. And I don't know how much you've used Google Maps in the city, but sometimes it can be a little deceiving. You think you're going one direction when you're actually going another direction. And after we walked around the train station from the outside twice, she came to me and said, maybe you'd like to have a crack at this. So I took over the lead and got us to the restaurant. It was an Italian restaurant, a really nice place. We were the only people there. That was kind of an amazing thing. It's noontime at that point, and there's no one else in the restaurant but us. I don't know if it's too windy for you guys to hear or not, but so it's noontime. We're the only people at the restaurant. We go in, we order food, we have a good time. Pizza, pasta, all kinds of good things. And it was delicious until the bill came. It was a little ridiculous. It was, there were 9 of us, and it ended up being about 250 pounds for 9 of us. So whatever, paid that, and we moved on. We ended up going to Buckingham Palace next, and Buckingham Palace is huge, enormous. It's like half the size of the city. So we go there, go to the front gate and take some pictures and, look at the statues and things like that. It's all nice and everything. And my son's got to go to the bathroom. And London is kind of weird about that. So you got to go to the bathroom. You go into this store, nope, sorry, no bathroom. Go into this restaurant, sorry, no bathroom. So we call an Uber to go to the next place that we want to shop at. And it takes him a while to get there. He gets there. He refuses to go up to the gate to the palace, even though there's other taxis there, no, I'm not allowed, I'll get in trouble, the police, all this stuff. Finally, we convince him to come pick us up. Picks us up, takes us there, we do some shopping there. My son has his, goes to the bathroom, and they buy a few treats and stuff, and my wife tells me that there's a place where they sell snacks and, things like Starburst and things like that have unusual flavors and things. So we go there. I think it's a waste of time, but that's what everybody wants, so we end up going there. It's like $60 for this bag of stuff that we buy. Just ridiculous. Then I go to a small, what's like a grocery store, and get some grapes and stuff, and I'm snacking on those while they're eating all their junk and everything, and then they want to have the same thing, so we end up going over there and getting more for everyone else. And after that, just do a little bit of walking and shopping and everything, and end up going back to the train station to drop them off. The traffic got a lot worse. We actually go to this place that they call an arcade, but there's an arcade in the basement, and upstairs it's like a bunch of different restaurants, Indian, Asian, all these different things, and you order by scanning a QR code on the table. I hate that crap. Then you're looking for coffee, you can't find coffee. Looking for water, you can't find water. It's so hard to order. We end up ordering a couple desserts. You have to pay online. They have a service fee like 12.5%. Do all that. We go to get out of there, and the train station we need to go to is about 3 miles away, and the map says it's going to take 48 minutes to get there. Traffic is bad in London. So we end up getting back there, dropping off our friends. They're taking the train from that station, and we end up having to go to another station to get our train. We get there, passports, all this stuff. No one looked in any bags. They didn't care about limits, bag limits, nothing. They scanned your passport, go on through. We went through a line of probably 400 people waiting to get through. We got through that line, had our passports scanned twice by 2 different people, got approved and got through in about 5 minutes. It was absolutely crazy. It's like, just get through, we don't care. So we got to the train station, got on the train. It was about 2 hours and 15 minutes for the train ride, and we did that. We got to Paris around 11:30 p.m. and we got an Uber, took the Uber to the house, and get in the house. We get to the house, we get to the front door of the house, and there's these 2 giant wooden doors. Okay, nice, rustic looking. That's fine. So I open the doors and I look inside. It's like a construction area. It's like, is this like a scam or something? Like, it's not supposed to be here. So, trying to figure out what to do. And some Spanish-speaking guy comes out, and he says that he and his wife live in there, and he can help me. His wife speaks English. He puts his wife on the phone. So the way it works is there's a 5-digit code, 4 numbers and a letter. You punch that in on the keypad outside, and it locks or unlocks the outside door. Then we open the door, you get in, and like I said, it's like a construction zone inside. It looks like it's a deserted place. And he's like, no, just walk with me. I'll show you where to go. So I walk with him. The whole family walks with him. We've got a total of 12 pieces of luggage. So we're dragging stuff along with us. It's a dark area, drywall leaning against the walls and everything. It just doesn't look right. It looks like, we're about to be killed or something. So we walk up to an area. We look to the left, and there's a old style, like a cage elevator, with these winding steps leading upstairs. So we go up the steps, and there's a door up there, huge door, And, oh, well, first, to the right of the elevator, there's a big box. You open up this huge door on this box, like a full-size door. Inside it is like 9 cubbies. You look to the right cubby that you're supposed to find. You open that cubby. Inside it is 3 safes. I know, it's ridiculous. If anyone wants to see this, I can send it to you. But then you have to put the combination in the middle safe, and you get a key. We get the key. We go upstairs on this winding staircase, get to our apartment. The key won't unlock it. Well, it's this weird old lock where you basically have to let it click twice. You click it, and you click again, then it's unlocked, then you can get in. We get in there. The place is absolutely gross. There's laundry from the last people who were there in bags. There are fresh linens on the couch that haven't been put away. There's no toilet paper. The heaters don't work. The blinds are falling off. Totally different than what we expected, and we paid a lot of money for this place. So we settle the kids down enough. We tell them, look, you just got to go to sleep. I don't care what it looks like. You just have to do it. So we have them go to sleep. We go to sleep. And I send an email to the property owner. And they send me an email early this morning, like 8 o'clock this morning, saying, send me pictures and we'll get it fixed for you. I sent them pictures and I'm waiting for a reply. And hopefully they do something to our satisfaction. So right now, it is that morning, Sunday morning, and I'm walking around Paris trying to find breakfast for everyone. And I've already gone over 3,000 steps and haven't been able to find a place in the middle of the city. So I think I found a place finally. It's called, I'm going to screw this up royally, Boulangerie, the pastry it looked like, Julienne. So I'm going to go there and get some food and find my way back to the apartment and unlock the locks, get in the one door, get in the other door, and finally get into the apartment, get the food for the family, and we'll start our day. So that's where we are. That's what's going on. I'm going to end it here. We'll start a fresh episode, and I'll let you know how things go from here. But it's beautiful here right now. It's about 50 degrees this morning. It's about 10 a.m. at this point, and I'm going to go get that breakfast, and I'll be back to update you guys later on. If you have any questions or comments, the email is mwusa21@gmail.com, mwusa21@gmail.com. See you next time.